Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and we're back with a new Conquest character model from Parabellum Games. Now this in particular one, well, if you follow this channel long enough, you'll see this is hitting all the right notes for me. This is the Eidolon from the City-States. Now this is a character model, and there are actually plastic versions of these guys, which I thought were also called Eidolons, but I could be wrong, and I actually don't know because I'm not looking online at the moment, and I completely forgot to check before I filmed this. But that's okay, because we're going to talk about this guy, and we'll save the plastics for another time. The plastics actually aren't as cool as this guy. You can see he's got asymmetrical arms, he's got crazy cybernetic parts getting grafted onto him, and he's wielding all kinds of weapons, and has what looks like 3 different faces. Sure, why not? Actually, this is just a crazy guy. This is actually a former human model. So the Eidolons were kind of some sort of man-machine experiment that would have absolutely made the Adeptus Mechanicus quite the happy campers, with the idea that they were going to build the perfect subservient warrior that was like filled with primal energies and stuff like that. So artwork's pretty cool. You can see he's got that kind of dual Greek mask thing going, and he's actually going to be on a larger monster slash cavalry base, of which we haven't had many in the way of characters. The first thing I think of are the Avatara. I can't think of anything else that's been on one. There is a hefty amount of resin here, which is pretty cool considering I think price-wise he was roughly the same as most of the other resin characters, and not like exorbitantly more expensive, which you would expect. Nope. Got the cloak there. A little bit of cleanup necessary, not anything too bad. One thing I can definitely say is that the details on the resin models, regardless of the size, are always quite crisp and nice whenever you are looking at Conquest character figures. So we'll have to clean that up a little bit. Looks like he's going to be pretty tall. I'm thinking he's going to be about Avatar size, and I'm going to have to go dig mine out now, aren't I? I don't know where I put them. That's not good. One of the legs. As you can see, there was skin at one point, and they've grafted all of these cybernetic attachments to them. Big spiky club. Always a plus in my book. A little bent. Nothing a little bit of heat. Hot water can't help fix. We've got clawed blades, like Wolverine style, on one of the other arms. A nice smashy bashy scepter here. Some sort of pipe. This almost looks like it's supposed to have something attached to it. And a third hammer. So how many hands? Do we have 4 arms? Well, darn, I thought this was going to be a nice asymmetrical abomination, but I guess symmetry is still something that humanity wishes to aspire to. Oh well, sad. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. I can't see. Maybe that's the hand that has the blades popping out. Nope, that's that lower one. But that looks like the hand with this thing. Maybe that's an option. Maybe I have to pick one. That's a possibility. Because then we have this hammer there. And we have, I'm assuming that's the hand going up off camera. Okay. Well, I'm going to put them all together and let's see what happens, okay? Maybe I am right, maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out shortly, won't we? Sit tight. Okay, the Eidolon is all put together, and I personally couldn't be happier. It is just a crazy looking figure. And as I've said in many occasions for many of these types of models, you know, the wilder and more unique, you know, the more opportunities I feel like you're going to be able to have to put a model like this on the table. Yes, it's designed for one specific game, but like I've said, you know, a good model, you can't keep a good model down. It's going to end up in various games, and it's quite impressive, I think, when you put it in comparison to other models. Now, obviously, in a rank and file game, he's going to be off on his own, smashing his way through, but let's say, you know, as a city-state model, you've got, you know, blocks of hoplites all standing around, and with them here, you can kind of get a good idea of what to expect in terms of scale. They're big figures. You know, he's on a monster-sized base, almost as tall as an Avatara of the Spires, but certainly nowhere near as thin or as elaborately decorated. That's kind of an Avatara type look. You know, if you're using models from other games, it's going to be really a big figure at that point. Some sort of warped chaos engine. It's so warped it messed up the camera there. Again, just to give you guys a good idea of the size of the scale of this thing. You know, like I said earlier, there are plastic versions that are similar. Those are the Inquisitors you want to keep an eye out for, that basically look like giant flayed ones. You know, similar, but serving different roles on the battlefield. Obviously nowhere near as big and as bulky as some of the cavalry models. Here we have a Centaur Avatara, another of the Spires models, another four-armed figure, because why not? Who needs normal humans, right? Or normal elves, or normal anything. Again, anytime there's conquest models on the table, there is a perfect valid reason to show off again the Order of the Ashen Dawn. I think that was the name. I don't even remember now. Anyway, this is one of the heavy cavalries for the 100 Kingdoms, which is also an absolute beast, both in terms of actual figure and rules in the game. Now, the city-states are pretty crazy in that, you know, you've got your blocks of hoplites, you've got good old generic spearmen whose names I can't remember, and everybody's like all amped up with augmetics and cybernetic parts. You've got minotaurs, you've got satyrs, you've got crazy warped visions of flesh and machine melded together. You've got like the machinists who are running the show there. Like I said, we've got the minotaurs. Of course, the undead guys have undead minotaurs as well, if you want to go that route with the Old Dominion. Conquest itself, you know, they keep really tinkering and tailoring and tooling up the rules to make sure that it's pretty even keel. But just the sheer variety of stuff at this point, even if you're not going to play it at its own scale, because we've said before, it's a bit more closer to 38 millimeter if you have regular humans on the table in comparison to your typical GW figure, which I'm desperately searching for at the moment. He is hidden between members of Shinra and AdMech in the British Army. Okay, so here you can see a good size indicator of what to expect if you haven't taken a look at the Conquest models yet. They are significantly larger as my camera wobbles around there and makes strange noises, but also as you get into the wilder, crazier stuff in whatever casting material you wish. There's plenty of plastics at this point. A few resins. I feel like we're airing towards plastic these days, which is okay. But again, they're just very visually unique and distinct. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the rules to the game, all that stuff's available online through that link below if you want to take a look, and you can see some of the upcoming models as well. And hopefully that gives you something to, you know, be interested in. Again, just very interesting visuals. The matriarch queens of the Wadroon, the executors of the Spire. Spire just have weird stuff, period. Everybody has weird stuff. One of these clone guys that I don't remember the names to. Again, too many arms, because why not? And eyes, and armor, and faces. But But yeah, there's just a lot of fun stuff. So I'm going to stop rambling at this point. I've been itching to get this guy primed up and painted, so hopefully we'll see him show up. If you ever want to see when any of this stuff gets painted, it's always on those Mondays, bar vacations, very rarely, but yeah, take a look for Mondays. But with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.